Temporary hair color, in parentheses, non-oxidation color. Temporary colors use color molecules that are the largest found in hair coloring products. The large size of the color molecule prevents penetration beyond the cuticle layer, producing only a coating on the outside of the hair. This coating usually lasts only until the next shampoo. The chemical composition of a temporary color is acidic, creating a physical change rather than a chemical change in the hair shaft. Temporary rinses have a pH range of 2.0 to 4.5. If a temporary hair color has an aniline derivative as an ingredient, a predisposition test is required. Be sure to read the manufacturer's instructions. Different types of temporary hair color include color rinses. Highlight the existing color or add color to the hair and remain on the hair until the next shampoo. Color enhancing shampoos are a combination of color rinse with a shampoo and produce highlights and impart slight color tones to the hair. Crayons are a stick of color compounded with soaps and synthetic waxes and sometimes used to color gray or white hair between hair tint retouch. They can be also used as temporary coloring for mustaches, beards, or sideburns. They are available in several standard colors: blonde, light, medium, and dark brown, black, auburn. Hair color sprays are applied to dry hair from aerosol containers. They are usually available in vibrant colors and generally used for special effects. Hair color mousses and gels are a combination of a little bit of color and styling mousse or gel in one product. Semi-permanent hair colors, in parentheses, non-oxidation color. Semi-permanent colors are no-lift, deposit-only hair color products. Semi-permanent pigment molecules are of a lesser molecule weight and size than those of temporary colors. The pigment molecules are small enough to partially penetrate the hair shaft and stain the cuticle layer. However, these molecules are also small enough to leave the hair during the shampooing and to fade with each shampoo. Traditionally, semi-permanent colors usually last from 6 to 8 shampoos as the color molecules are shampooed from the hair. The chemical composition of semi-permanent color is mildly alkaline, causes the cortex to swell, and raises the cuticle to allow penetration. This chemical composition combines small color molecules, solvents, alkaline swelling agents, in parentheses, mild oxidizer, and surfactants to create a type of color that is known as self-penetrating. Self-penetrating colors tend to make a mild chemical change as well as a physical change. Most semi-permanent colors do not contain ammonia and may be used right out of the bottle. Although normally gently on the hair, semi-permanent colors require a patch test, predisposition test prior to application to prevent occurrences of product sensitivity or allergic reaction. These tests are required by FDA before the application of any product that contains aniline derivatives. Semi-permanent hair color typically falls within the 7.0 to 9.0 pH range. Due to the slight alkalinity of semi-permanent color, hair color services should be followed with a mild acid-balanced shampoo and conditioning. This process neutralizes any residue alkalinity and helps restore the hair to normal pH levels. Semi-permanent hair color may be used to cover or blend partially gray hair without affecting its natural color when the hair color and product color are matched correctly. Cover gray hair on a client who has up to 25% gray. Enhance or deepen color tones in the hair. Serve as a non-peroxide toner for pre-lightened hair. Demi-permanent hair color. Demi-permanent hair colors also known as no-lift deposit-only hair colors, are longer lasting than semi-permanent hair colors. They are designed to deposit without lifting, in parentheses, lightening. Natural or artificial color in the hair and are a type of oxidation color. They are not used directly out of the bottle, but must be mixed with low volume developer or activator immediately before use. The agent in the developer causes oxidation to occur, which develops the color. Demi-permanents darken the natural hair color when applied. They are available in gel, cream, liquid forms. Because they contain aniline derivatives, a patch test is required before application. Demi-permanent hair colors may be used to get vivid color results, introduce a client to a color service, blend to cover up 50% gray, refresh faded permanent color, deposit color changes without lightening the hair, reverse highlights, perform corrective coloring. Permanent hair color, in parentheses, oxidation color. Permanent hair color are mixed with developers, in parentheses, hydrogen peroxide, and remain in the hair permanently. When the hair grows, a touch-up or retouch application is required to blend the new growth with the previously colored hair. A permanent hair color is also called a tint. Permanent hair color products usually contain all of the following: ammonia, oxidative tints, in parentheses, color molecules, aniline derivatives, hydrogen peroxide, in parentheses, developer. Permanent hair color products contain aniline derivatives, so they require a patch test or predisposition test. They can lighten or deposit color in one process. They can lighten natural hair color because they are more alkaline than demi-permanent oxidation colors and are usually mixed with higher volume developer. The amount of lift is controlled by the pH and concentration of peroxide in the developer. The amount of deposit depends on the amount of color in the product. Permanent hair color products are usually mixed with an equal amount of 20 volume peroxide and are capable of lifting 1 or 2 levels. When mixed with higher volumes of peroxide, permanent colors can lift up to 4 levels. Since some manufacturers recommend a 2-to-1 ratio of developer to hair color, always read the manufacturer's directions. When a permanent hair color is mixed with a developer and applied to the hair, the cuticle layer will swell and begin to open, allowing the underdeveloped small color molecules to enter the cortex. This process usually takes place in the first 10 to 15 minutes after the color is mixed. The molecule, in parentheses, aniline derivatives, will then oxidize and grow in size in the remaining processing time, trapping the molecule in the cortex. They are then too big to get out of the cortex. Permanent hair color products are alkaline and generally range between 9.0 to 10.5 on the pH scale. After processing, the hair is shampooed, and as it dries, it begins to return to its normal pH. This process causes the cortex to shrink and the cuticle to close, which tends to further trap the color molecules. Except for residual color, permanent hair color does not wash out during the shampoo process. Eventually, the color may fade and may require refreshing. When new growth occurs, the line of demarcation develops between the new growth and the previously colored hair. This stage requires an application of permanent hair color to the new growth, known as a retouch application. Permanent hair coloring products are regarded as the best products for covering gray hair. They diffuse natural pigment through the action of lifting and add artificial color to the hair, as the color molecules are trapped in the cortex. The gray and non-gray areas blend uniformly with full coverage. Types of permanent hair color. There are 4 types of permanent hair colors. Oxidation tints. Oxidation tints are also known as aniline derivative tints. Penetrating tints, synthetic organic tints, and ammonial tints. They can lighten and deposit color in a single process and are available in a wide variety of colors. Toners also fall into the category of permanent color and are aniline derivative products of pale, delicate shades designed for use of pre-lightened hair. Most oxidating tints contain aniline derivatives and require a predisposition (patch) test before the service is performed. As long as the hair is of normal strength and in good condition, oxidation tints are compatible with other professional chemical services such as chemical waving and relaxers. Oxidation tints are sold in bottles, canisters, and tubes in either a semi-liquid or a cream form. Tints must be mixed with hydrogen peroxide, which activates the chemical reaction known as oxidation. This reaction begins as soon as the 2 products are combined, so the mixed tint must be used immediately. Any leftover tint must be discarded since it deteriorates quickly. Timing the application of the tint depends upon the product and the volume of peroxide selected. Consult the manufacturer's directions and your instructor for assistance. A strand test should always be performed to ensure satisfactory results. Vegetable tints. Vegetable tints are also known as natural hair colors. Are hair color products made from various plants such as herbs and flowers. In the past, indigo, chamomile, sage, Egyptian henna, and other plants were used to color the hair. Even though vegetable tints are considered permanent, they are non-oxidation color products because they are not mixed with a developer. Henna is used as a professional hair coloring product, but should be used with caution. It has a coat action that can be built up with overuse and prevent the penetration of other chemicals. It may penetrate the cortex and attach to the salt bonds, leaving the hair unfit for other professional treatments. Metallic or mineral dyes. Metallic dyes are not professional hair coloring products. Metallic dyes are advised as color restorers and progressive colors. The metallic ingredients such as lead, acetate, and silver nitrate react with the keratin in the hair, turning it brown. This reaction creates a colored film coating that produces a dull, metallic appearance. If a product has silver nitrate in it, it oxidizes over time with oxygen in the air and tarnishes, turning the hair to blackish gray, much like silverware made of silver does over time if it is not kept polished. Repeated treatments of metallic dyes can damage the hair and can react adversely with many professional chemical services such as relaxers and chemical waves. Compound dyes. Like metallic dyes, compound dyes are not used professionally. Compound dyes are metallic and mineral dyes combined with a vegetable tint. Metallic salts are added to vegetable tints such as henna to give the product more staying power and to create different colors like metallic dyes. These products can change colors, coat the hair, and make hair unfit for other chemical services. Hydrogen peroxide developers. A hydrogen peroxide developer is an oxidizing agent that supplies oxygen gas for the development of color molecules when mixed with an oxidative hair color product. When diluted with water and other substances for use in hair coloring, hydrogen peroxide has a mildly acidic pH of 3.5 to 4.0. Hydrogen peroxide alone produces a relatively mild lightening of the natural hair color and causes little damage to the hair shaft. A color change occurs in the hair when the oxygen combines with the melanin in the hair. As the oxygen and melanin combine, the peroxide solution begins to diffuse and lighten the melanin within the cortex. The smaller structure and spread out distribution of the diffused melanin gives the hair a lighter appearance. This diffused melanin is called oxymelanin. When very pale, light shades of desired, however, chemical lighteners must be used. Hydrogen peroxide, in parentheses H2O2, serves as the main oxidizing agent used in the hair coloring. The chemical action of the oxygen with artificial hair color molecules in the hair coloring product is called oxidation. The small artificial color molecules, in parentheses aniline derivatives, expand into a larger form because of this chemical action. In hair coloring, the term volume is used to denote the different strengths of hydrogen peroxide. Volume measures the concentration and strength of hydrogen peroxide. The lower the volume, the lesser the lift and lightening achieved. The higher the volume, the greater the lifting or lightening action. Hydrogen peroxide is distributed for use under a variety of names that include developer, oxidizer, generator, catalyst. Regardless of the name used, hydrogen peroxide is available in three forms. Cream peroxide contains additives such as thinners, dabblers, conditioners, and acids of stabilization. The thickeners help create a product that tends to stay moist on the hair longer than liquid peroxide. It's easier to control and does not drip during the brush and bowl method of application. Liquid hydrogen peroxide contains a stabilizer acid that brings the pH to between 3.5 to 4.0. They are convenient because they can be used with most of today's bleach and tint formulas. Dry peroxides are available in either tablet or powder form and are dissolved in liquid hydrogen peroxide to boost the volume. The availability of liquid and cream peroxide in a variety of volumes has made this product somewhat obsolete. The safety precautions for using hydrogen peroxide include the following. Use clean implements when measuring, using, and storing hydrogen peroxide. Even a small amount of dirt or impurities can cause hydrogen peroxide or deteriorative. Never measure the needed amount of hydrogen peroxide by pouring it into the lid of another product. The residue will cause the product in the container to oxidize as it sits on the shelf and render it unusably. Do not allow hydrogen peroxide formulations to come in contact with metal. Metal causes the oxidation process to occur too quickly to allow proper color development. Avoid breathing in vapors caused by mixing hydrogen peroxide and hair color products. A hydrogen peroxide volume of 20 or more can cause skin irritation, chemical burns, and hair damage. Keep the cap closed securely on the hydrogen peroxide at all times when not in use. Overexposure to the air will affect the strength. Activators. An activator is an oxidizer consisting of powdered presulfate salts that is added to hair colors, lighteners, or hydrogen peroxide to increase the chemical action of the product. This addition results in an increased lifting power, which is controlled by the number of activators that are added to the product. Generally, up to 3 activators can be used for on the scalp applications, and up to four for off the scalp processes. However, since formulas and strengths will vary from brand to brand, always refer to the manufacturer's directions for mixing instructions. Activators are also known as boosters, proteinaries, and accelerators. Understanding hair lighteners. Lighteners are chemically compounds that lighten hair by dissolving, and decoloring the natural hair pigment, in parentheses melanin, which is accomplished by a mixture of bleach and hydrogen peroxide. When mixed, the pH of lighteners is around 10.0. As soon as the hydrogen peroxide is mixed into the lightener's formula, it begins to release oxygen. The hair pigment goes through different stages of color as it lightens. The amount of change depends on how much natural pigment or melanin the hair has, the strength of the lightener, the length of time the lightener is on the hair. During this decolorization process, natural hair may go through many stages of lightening from the darkest to the lightest. Natural black hair can lighten through the brown and or red stages to orange, gold, yellow, and finally pale yellow. Hair lighteners are used to create blonde shades that are not possible with permanent hair color. Pre-lightening the hair to prepare it for application of a toner or tint, in parentheses double process application. Lighten the hair to a particular shade or stage. Lighten only certain areas of the hair. Lighten naturally dark hair. Lighten hair without depositing color. Types of lighteners. Lighteners are available in three forms: cream, powder, and oil. Cream and oil are considered on-the-scalp lighteners, and powder are considered off-the-scalp lighteners. That said, some newer powder lighteners may be used on the scalp, so always refer to the manufacturer's directions before purchase or application. Each type of lightener has unique abilities, chemical composition, and formulation procedures. Cream lighteners are the most popular of on-the-scalp lightener. They contain conditioning agents, bluing agents, and thickeners, which makes them easy to apply and will not run, drip, or dry out. Cream lighteners provide the following benefits. The conditioning agent gives some protection to the hair. The bluing agent helps drab, undesirable red or gold tones. The thickener provides control during application and prevents overlap. Powder lighteners, also known as paste, speed, or quick lighteners, contain oxygen, releasing boosters and substances for quick and strong lightening. These lighteners will stay in place and not run or drip, but not contain conditioning agents and tend to dry out quickly. Because they are stronger than oil or cream lighteners, they may also be too strong to use directly on the scalp. Be sure to read the directions to see if it is safe to use powder lighteners for a virgin lightener or lightener retouch. Oil lighteners are also as popular as cream or powder lighteners nowadays. They are usually mixtures of hydrogen peroxide with sulfonated oil. As on the scalp lighteners, they are the mildest form of lightener and may be used when only one or two levels of lift are desired. There are two types of oil lighteners. Color oil lighteners add temporary color as they lighten. Gold lightens and adds gold to reddish tones depending on the base color of the hair. Silver lightens and adds silvery highlights to gray or white hair and minimizes red and gold tones in the other shades. Red lightens and adds red highlights. Drab lightens and adds ash highlights in tones down or reduces red are color tones. Neutral oil lighteners remove pigment without adding color tone and may be used to pre-soften hair for a tint application. Contribution of underlining pigments. It is essential to lighten the hair to the correct stage of lightness needed because the pigment that remains in the hair will impact the final result of the hair lightening and coloring process. For example, let's say you need to lighten to the pale yellow stage, but only lighten to the yellow or gold stage. The tint or toner you have selected has a blue base. If you were to apply this blue base tint to the yellow gold hair, the hair would turn green because you only lighten to the yellow gold stage, and blue added to yellow, in parentheses think color theory, makes green. Use figure 18.9 as a guide to determine the contributing pigment or undertones of color at various hair color levels. Toners. A toner is a permanent hair coloring product that is applied to the pre-lightening hair for the purpose of achieving the desired color or tones in the hair, or to neutralize unwanted undertones, in parentheses, contributing pigment. For example, brassy red tones that remain in the hair after lightening can be neutralized with a green base toner if they are at the same level of lightness. Toners only add or deposit pigment into the hair shaft. They do not lighten the hair. Because toners are applied only to pre-lightened hair, they typically come in pale, delicate blonde shades. Aniline derivatives is an ingredient in toners, so a patch test is required 24 to 48 hours before application. Toners usually have a very different color in the bottle than the final shade that they produce. They may appear to be purple, blue, orange, or pink in the bottle. As toner color oxidizes, it goes through several visual color changes. Therefore, a preliminary strand test should be done to determine the processing time required for a desired shade. Toners are used in double process applications. 1. The lightener application is the first process. 2. The toner application is the second process. After the hair goes through the desired stage of lightening, the color left in the hair is also known as contributing color, which is usually the darkest degree of contributing pigment that remains after the lightening process. Achieving the correct lightening stage is necessary for proper toner development and to achieve even color. Toner manufacturers provide recommendations about the contributing color needed to achieve various color results. As a general rule, the lightener the desired color, the lighter the foundation must be. It is important to follow the guide closely. Over lightening hair will absorb and grab the base color of the toner, while under lightened hair will appear to be more red, yellow, or orange than the intended color. While color manufacturers produce toners to complement their color lines, toning is also a process that can be performed using a semi-permanent, demi-permanent, or permanent hair color as a toner to achieve the desired result. Read the manufacturer's directions carefully for the appropriate color selection, mixing, and application instructions. Toner formulations and color ranges vary with each manufacturer. Using products from the same product line is recommended. Tint or dye removers. The removal of artificial hair coloring products such as tint is sometimes desired if the client wants to change to a lighter shade. A coloring mistake has been made. The hair has processed to dark due to an overporous condition. Dye removers. are also known as color or tint removers. There are two basic types of products available to remove artificial pigment, such as tints and toners, from the hair. Oil-based dye removers lift trapped color pigments, stain or build up from cuticle layers, do not create structural changes in the hair shaft or pigment, in parentheses natural or artificial, of the hair, and will not make drastic changes in the level of color. Tint or dye solvents produce strong lightening effects on melanin and diffuse artificial pigment within the cortex, are non-allergic, and do not require a predisposition test because they do not contain aniline derivatives. As these are strong and fast-acting, follow the manufacturer's directions carefully. Fillers. Fillers are designed to correct excessive porosity and are to create a color base in the hair by penetrating the cuticle and filling in empty, small holes or pockets in the cortex. They help even out porosity in the hair shaft that can cause uneven color deposit or lightening. There are two types of fillers. Conditioner fillers are available in protein, non-protein, and in gel, cream, and liquid forms. Color fillers are dual-purpose hair coloring products that are able to create a color base and equalize excessive porosity in one application. They are available in clear, neutral, and a variety of colors. A clear filler is designed to correct porosity without affecting color and does not deposit a color base. Neutral fillers, in parentheses a balance of all three primary colors, have minimal saturation and color correction abilities, but have power to equalize porosity. Hair with uneven color distribution or pre-lightened hair may benefit from a color filler application before applying a toner or tint. Color fillers can be used to deposit color to faded hair shafts and ends, help hair hold color, help ensure a uniform color from the scalp to the hair ends, prevent color streaking, prevent off-color results, prevent dullness, facilitate more uniform color in tinting the hair back to its natural shade. Color fillers are certified colors as pigments are safe to use without a predisposition test. If they contain no aniline derivatives, may be used directly from the container and applied to the hair before tinting, and should match the same base shade as the toner or tint to be used. Skin stain removers. Generally, soap and water will remove most tint stains from the skin. Stain removers are commercially prepared solutions that are designed for this purpose. When soap and water is not compatible for removing hair color from the skin, use one of the following methods. Dampen a piece of cotton with the leftover tint. Use a rotary movement to cover the stained area and follow with a damp towel. Apply a small amount of face cream and wipe clean. Use a prepared stain remover.